tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping tennis, swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track.
Another Queen Ahmadiyyah production.
Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping tennis, swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights where dreams collide, we hustle through the night, fire in our stride. Whispers in the dark can't dim my glow. With rhythm in my soul, I'm ready for the show. We break the chains, rewrite the rules in this concrete jungle where nobody's fools. Unity sings louder than the lies they scheme. In the heart of the struggle, we dare to dream. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. Haze on the corner, they talking real loud. Spreading on light, trying to bring me down. Enemies lurking, but I won't back away. Got a vision in my mind, I'm here to stay. Got my crew beside me, we rise like a tide. When the storm gets rough, we ain't gonna hide. Popping tennis, swilling, but it won't touch me. Only love around, that's how it's gonna be. Keep moving forward, never looking back. The truth's in the power, it's an unstoppable track. In the city lights, we're
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Hold on just a second. I'm trying to pull this up on my device. Okay, so once again, another update on Diddy. And what's amazing to me is that Kanye West, who told us that Diddy was a whole fed, if you all remember how he went in on Diddy and called him a fed and all of that? Well, now Kanye is defending Diddy and begging Trump to pardon him, which I find also interesting. But before we talk about that, and listen, here's the thing. I've already told you all that Trump is absolutely not going to pardon Diddy. Diddy said a bunch of disparaging things about Trump, and we know that Trump, just like an elephant, never forgets. Okay, and he is petty. So that's not going to happen, no matter who's asking. I'm pretty sure of that. But before we get into it, let's talk about what Day 26 had to say. Okay, because they alleged something about human sacrifices. Yeah. So a member of R&B group Day 26 has alleged that Sean Diddy Combs or a member of Combs' inner circle once sent him a cryptic email discussing human sacrifices. Now, during an interview with Vlad TV, Day 26 member Q and his group mates discussed their dealings with Combs during their time working with the mogul in the late 2000s. Now, at one point during the sit-down, Q casted Roger Bonds, Combs' former head of security, who has spoken out against his former employer. He cast him as a hypocrite, okay, and being complicit in Diddy's alleged reign of terror. Now, I'm sorry, didn't I tell you all the same thing? I told you all that last year. I said Roger Bonds sounds like he was complicit with Diddy to me. And the day that he was talking about, I think he was on, he might have been talking to Pierce Morgan or Chris Cuomo. But nonetheless, I think it was Chris Cuomo, but he was talking about how, he intervened when Cassie and Diddy got into it. But I told you guys it sounded more to me that he was trying to protect Diddy, not Cassie. Because he specifically said they were on Sunset Boulevard. And he said, man, do you know where we at? Do you know where we are? Like he's warning Diddy, dude, you're going to get in trouble. You can't do this here. That's what it sounded like to me. Now, I could be wrong, but that's how I took it, okay, just from the way he delivered it. Now, he also claimed that he once received an email from either Combs or Bonds that left him frightened for his life, as the message felt sacrificial in nature. Saying my thing with Roger Bonds was I had an issue with him, and I was kind of nervous around him because I was in an email and I saw some things in a personal email that threw me off guard. This is what Q says. I understand you're crying now. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. Forgot to put this on Do Not Disturb. Okay. Now, with that all being said, actually, I thought I did put on Do Not Disturb. Hold on just a second. Okay. Now, with that all being said, goes on to say, I understand you're crying now off the trauma that you've seen, but what about the trauma you put me through when I read that email? That's what he asked as he began tearing up. Goes on to say, that's why it's not just Sean that's guilty. They're all effing guilty, man. I don't just put the blame on Sean. I blame everybody that's in his circle. They're all minions and they all want to be like him. And if they can't be like him, they try to come against him. If they don't got the money, or they can't or they can't get it as quick as him, or whatever he's doing to get it, then all of a sudden it's like, let's turn on him now. So when asked to expound on the contents of the email, he declined to do so and to divulge the details, but explained that he was disturbed enough to inform his family and friends of the perceived threat. He says, I'll keep it very short. Things felt very sacrificial. I don't want to sound like I'm a conspiracy person, because I'm not. But when you're under a power, man, it's just, I can't go into details now, but sir, I'll tell you, it felt like some sacrificial stuff was going on, man. It felt very scary and weird, to the point where I ran to get help. I ran to my doctor. I spoke up with my family. I spoke up to people around me, because I was like, if this is true and I come up missing or dead or something, I want you guys to know facts and truth of what I'm going through and experiencing. Now, Day 26's working relationship with Diddy began during each member's appearance on the 4th season of Making the Band, which ended with the group being handpicked by Diddy and signed to the Bad Boy Entertainment recording studio or company. Now, the quintet released 2 albums on the label, their self-titled debut in 2008 and Forever in a Day in 2009, but would later part with Diddy and release 3 more albums, including their most recent release, Day One. And so Diddy is currently incarcerated. We already know he's in jail without no bail, where he needs to stay from the sounds of it. Okay, so what do you all think about that? But here's Kanye trying to get him out. Kanye, who knows how low down and dirty Diddy is, because I'm sure Diddy has done him dirty. Why did they fall out? And why did he tell us Diddy was a whole fed? Okay, Kanye, you're starting to sound crazy. Now let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, because Kanye West defends Sean Diddy Combs, calls out Hollywood for staying silent. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. So Kanye West has blasted Hollywood celebrities for staying silent about Diddy's arrest. He's made the headlines again after his dramatic Grammys red carpet appearance and hints at a Super Bowl event. He's now calling on Donald Trump to help free Sean Diddy Combs. Say what? Diddy is currently in jail on charges of trafficking and racketeering. On February the 7th, Kanye took to X to blast Hollywood celebrities for staying quiet about Diddy's arrest. Okay, he accused them of watching Diddy rot behind bars instead of speaking up. He then reached out to Donald Trump directly, writing, "Donald Trump, please free my brother Puff," in all caps. He also shared a video of a FaceTime call with Diddy's son, Christian Combs. Now, in the post, he reflected on fathers and sons, mentioning comedian Dave Chappelle. Netizens also noticed something interesting. Aside from his wife, Bianca Censori, the only person Kanye follows on Instagram is Diddy. Okay, so I find that all interesting. But like I said, Trump is absolutely not going to pardon Diddy. That's what he's not going to do, because remember how he was talking all greasy about Trump, saying that Trump was a racist and all this stuff. And here's a video right here too that some people think is part of the reason why Diddy's in jail. Well, here's the thing. This could be part of the reason why Diddy's in jail, but let's not act like Diddy didn't do things to get himself put in jail. You see, if you don't do anything, then they don't have anything. But when you do things and then they turn on you, well, they're going to use whatever you've done against you. That's how that goes. So we should all know that by now. Please pay attention.
This man is elected. We're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a race war, but it would also be irresponsible of me to just let this moment go by. The world is watching, and not do everything I can to make sure that going forth that we're a part of the narrative, that we own our politics. And so I'm launching one of the boldest movements that I've ever launched. And it's called Our Black Party. Okay. It's time for us to have our own Black political party, unapologetically. Because right now, if you look at the debates, we're not even a part of the conversation. Not at all. We're not a part of the conversation. We don't have any political power. We don't have any political leverage. And so we started Our Black Party with some young, fearless Black activists, elected officials, and I've stepped up and put the money behind it. This is the biggest threat and the only option that we have right now as far as making a change, taking our own self-responsibility and accountability to be educated and empowered with our vote. So what's the goal for our Black Party? Our Black Party is number. If this man is elected, we're not standing by no more getting killed. We're not scared of anybody standing up and standing by. We're on the verge of a.
Sorry, guys, I almost let that play again because I was distracted. I was uploading or downloading something to show you guys in a second. Okay, so, with those words right there, Trump's not going to pardon Diddy. And I told you all this before. Okay, when someone was saying that, Trump's going to pardon him or he's going to ask Trump for pardon, well, he can ask all he wants, but Trump's not going to do it. Okay, because we all know that Trump is vindictive and that he's very petty. Okay, and he doesn't forget anything, specifically anyone who slighted him in any way. Okay, that's what he doesn't do. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, Jeff ATL says Diddy probably got footage of Kanye doing something nefarious in one of his freak-offs. That's probably why he's asking Trump's pardon. Well, here's the thing. He just might, beloved. He just might, but it's been a while. All this stuff has been going on for quite some time now. So what I find interesting is that Kanye's just now saying something. And now that he's saying something, now he wants to go in on other people that haven't. Like Kanye, sit down somewhere. I don't know what's going on with Kanye. But, after I saw him and his nefarious wife on the red carpet with saran wrap, okay? I mean, doing the most clearly. I don't know if Kanye's in his right mind at this point yet again. Okay, and then defending Diddy after all these myriads of allegations. I'm sorry. He just can't make it make sense as far as I'm concerned. But thank you for your insight into the topic, beloved, and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. It's just not going to happen is all I'm saying. I just don't see it happening. But in other news, speaking about Diddy, Justin Combs supposedly threatened somebody for talking greasy about Diddy. Okay? And I find that all interesting because, first of all, he's not even from the streets, is he? Is he? Let's get into it. But before we do, let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Okay, so don't forget you can purchase 12 Tribes for your hair at Etsy.com. You can also just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. Okay, so now let's continue, because here's the thing. Chopper was going in about Diddy's son pressing him, okay, over the things that he said, over some comments that he made. Okay, Chopper has been saying a lot. Now, the rapper spent years working under Diddy as a member of the band and claims to have seen a lot of questionable behavior. He's recounted some of the said behavior during his recent interview. Now, this has not set well with Diddy's son, however. Okay, Justin Combs reportedly reached out to Chopper after said interviews, and he tried to press the band member for his allegations, but it backfired though, and became a talking point during Chopper's Art of Dialogue chat. The rapper told the outlet that Justin Combs contacted him via Instagram, saying he called me on Instagram. Okay, he said Justin was like, "Man, I don't appreciate what you're doing to my daddy, bro." Chopper claimed Diddy was talking gangster, claimed that Diddy's son was talking gangster to him, which caught him off guard. Okay, it would have caught me off guard too. He said it did not, however, concern him whatsoever. He says, I had to let him know that I would beat the ish out of his little A. Despite the mockery, Chopper claimed that he held no ill will against Combs for his defensiveness. He recalls seeing Combs when he was a child. He still, however, sprinkled in a bit more dissing. He said, I knew he was hurt, but I had to let him know that he was a little boy to me. Chopper has made some startling allegations against Diddy in recent weeks. Now, the rapper claimed that he saw the bad boy mogul kissing another man in the studio. Y'all remember that? He also accused Diddy of threatening another member of the band with murder. Diddy threatened his life, Chopper alleged, told him he was going to kill him. Fred said something slick to Diddy, and the bad boy founder allegedly told Freddie P he would buy out his neighborhood and move out everybody he knows. Chopper claimed the confrontation almost led to violence on Freddie's part. Now, Justin Combs, meanwhile, has tried to defend Diddy's honor multiple times. He reportedly confronted Ray J at a Los Angeles party in October. The singer had been leveling allegations against Diddy, so Justin approached him with King Combs and Quincy Brown in tow. Things got heated between both parties. TMZ reported that Chris Brown, of all people, they literally say Chris Brown, of all people, broke up the situation. Now that's real messy, okay? That's real messy. Are they trying to act like Chris Brown's always in a fight? Anyway, Ray J's manager later bashed Justin Combs and his siblings for their behavior. He described them as little kids, echoing Chopper's remarks. I mean, here's the thing. My question is, do they think that they can just go in on everybody who says something about Diddy? Like, you know, at the end of the day, this is news. Their father is in the news for nefarious reasons and nefarious allegations. So people are going to talk. Now, there's no need to be going around trying to confront everybody. You'd be fighting every day, all day, and twice on Sundays. Sometimes it's best to just keep your mouth shut and sit back, you know, and let things play out. Because I'm quite sure he's not scaring anybody. Okay, Justin, you're not about that life. Okay, you're not about that life. Okay, so please pay attention. Now, with that all being said, let's talk about politics and what's going on here. Let's talk about what's going on here, because I find it all very interesting. Well, before we get into that, actually, hold on. Let's talk about Alex Spiro real quick, him and Busby. Okay, because on January the 8th, Spiro asked Judge Torres, to punish Busby for what he said were inaccuracies that cast considerable doubt on the allegations against Jay-Z by imposing a monetary sanction, such as forcing him to cover the rapper's legal fees. Now, remember, they filed just days ago to have the sanctions dismissed, the motion for sanctions dismissed. because they knew they were being silly in the first place, okay? Now, in an email, Busby said the filing reeks of desperation, and he accused Alex Spiro and his team of attempting to bully or intimidate counsel by filing meritless and frivolous pleadings full of lies and half-truths. Now, Spiro's team and Busby have been embroiled in a series of back and forths that led to Torres issuing a reprimand for what she described as inflammatory language used against the plaintiff's attorney. She said that in the space of a few weeks, Spiro had submitted a litany of letters and motions attempting to impugn the character of plaintiff's lawyer, many of them expounding on the purported urgency of his case. Referring to Jay-Z by his legal name, the judge said, Carter's lawyer's relentless filing of combative motions containing inflammatory language and ad hominem attacks is inappropriate, a waste of judicial resources, and a tactic unlikely to benefit his client. The court will not fast-track the judicial process merely because counsel demands it. Okay. So anyway, Jay-Z needs to sit down somewhere, because all he needs is one more person to come out and say something, and then his whole little facade is going to be cracked in half, okay? Right now, he thinks it's all gravy. Beyonce won the Grammy and all of that for Best Album of the Year, you know, after he got up there and talked all that trash last year and all this. And so he thinks he's on top, but he's going to be right back on the bottom in a minute. Please pay attention. Now, let's talk about it, because have you all heard, Black people, I'm talking to you, have you all heard that the Latinos are mad at us? Have y'all heard that they're mad at us for not being upset as they are? Have y'all heard anything about that? Because they've been going in. They have been going in and demanding to know why we're, okay, so you all are saying yes, okay. So they've been going in on us and demanding to know why we're not standing by them, while we're not sticking up for them. After all of this stuff is going on, Juju said they ain't done shit for us, okay? All hell no said yes, and I'm unbothered. Here's the thing. Latinos, my fellow Latino brethren and sisters, why are y'all mad at us again? The African-American community, we didn't do anything. Just like y'all didn't do anything when people go in on us. And here's the thing. Don't be mad at the Black people, the African Americans. Don't be mad at us. See, here's the thing. Everybody always anticipates, waits, and expects for African Americans to fight their battles. Meanwhile, nobody ever fights ours but us. Okay, nobody stands up there and fights for us to get our reparations, which we're absolutely due. Okay, other people have gotten reparations for things that didn't even happen on American soil, but they think we're not supposed to be owed any. Yeah, please make it all make sense. And you know, here's the thing. Many of these Latinos, they liken themselves to whiteness. They don't consider themselves Black, even when they look Black. They don't consider themselves one of us. They don't seem to agree that, you know, when people were taken from Africa to different portions of the world, different regions, those are the same people. They just speak different languages. They don't think that they're Black people who speak Spanish. They just think that they're Spanish people who come from Spanish and white people. They don't think they have any closeness to us. Many of them don't. They call us monkeys, just like other people do, and they get mad. This is what they do, okay? They call us roaches. They just say a lot of derogatory things. I'm not saying all of them, because of course it's not all of them, but it is many of them. And so when they're sitting there trying to blame us for how things are going, I find it all interesting, because don't blame us. Blame yourselves. Blame those amongst you who prefer proximity to whiteness. And those are the ones that voted for Trump and against your own best interest. And if you don't believe me, just watch. Everybody, they will vote for Donald Trump. Isn't that what y'all said? But they're mad at us for what? For what? Y'all heard him. I will vote for Donald Trump. And that's what they did. Okay, that's what they did. So don't be mad at us. Okay, don't be mad at us. Is all I'm saying. We didn't have anything to do with it. Okay, and last I checked, most of the people who look like me actually voted for Kamala. So there's that. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I absolutely cannot, honey. They had a whole little song. I will vote for Donald Trump. And they did. Okay, and did. But anyway, I digress. Now, and speaking of Donald Trump, y'all, they want Trump out of office already. Hasn't even been a month. And they want Trump to be impeached. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Let me find my receipts. Hold on. Here it is right here. I want y'all to pay attention because Houston Representative Al Green said that he was going to file articles of impeachment against President Donald Trump. Trump floated the idea around a White House press conference with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu on Tuesday, proposing the U.S. assume ownership of the territory and redevelop the land. Now, remember, I reported that to you on yesterday, and we're talking about the Gaza Strip. Okay, Houston Congressman Al Green on Wednesday announced that he would file articles of impeachment against Donald Trump after the president said the United States would move to take over the Gaza Strip. Now, on the White House floor Wednesday, Green called the suggestion ethnic cleansing. And that's what I called it too, because that's exactly what it is, okay? The calling of a nation. Now, especially when it emanates from the president of the United States, the most powerful person in the world. I rise to announce that the movement to impeach the president has begun. I rise to announce that I will bring articles of impeachment against the president for dastardly deeds, okay? Proposed, for dastardly deeds proposed and dastardly deeds done. Now, the move would be the congressman's fourth attempt to impeach Trump after 3 separate attempts failed during the president's first term in office. Okay, Green first introduced articles of impeachment in 2017 and twice in 2019. Each time the efforts were overwhelmingly ineffective, and the third try was labeled by the Democratic-controlled House. Okay, I'm sorry, was tabled by the Democratic-controlled House. They say when the people demand it, it will be done. I did it before. I laid the foundation for impeachment and it was done. Nobody knows more about it than I, and I know that it's time for us to lay the foundation again. Honey, they want Trump out of there and it hasn't even been a month. This is how much havoc Trump is wreaking already. This is what he's doing. And here's the thing. Let's talk about it because Elon Musk, what is this devil doing? And I mean devil literally, not figuratively. Okay, let's talk about it. I'm going to go to this report because they say that Elon Musk, they tried to access personal data. Hold on, let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Move fast and break things, basically innovate at any cost, even if it disrupts current systems. And that's what we've seen from President Donald Trump and Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. But it has sparked quite the backlash, as you can see this event here behind me, and from Democratic lawmakers calling the efforts to reform the government illegal and without accountability.
Thank you all for being with us today.
Democrats sounding the alarm on President Donald Trump's governmental makeover, led by the world's richest man.
Whatever DOGE is doing, it's not democracy.
Elon Musk and his Department of Government Efficiency gained entry into sensitive databases, such as Treasury payments and employee files, forced out federal employees who refused requests, and are seeking to eliminate entire agencies.
Congress has the power of the purse, and when Congress allocates funding in the best interest of the American people, the Constitution requires that that funding be spent.
The constitutional question's not deterring the White House, who says Musk is a special government employee who's carrying out Trump's campaign promises.
Elon can't do and won't do anything without our approval.
On Monday, Musk said the president approved shutting down USAID.
What we have here is not an apple with a worm in it, but we have actually just a bowl of worms.
Established by Congress in 1961, the program distributes billions globally to combat poverty, treat disease, and respond to crises.
That instability from starvation and disease will visit us in the United States of America.
The White House points to money for transgender services in Guatemala and DEI initiatives in Serbia as examples for why they're pausing payments to what they consider unrelated to life-saving operations.
If it doesn't make us stronger or more prosperous or more secure, we aren't going to spend taxpayer money on it.
Minority leaders Schumer and Jeffries also introduced a bill today called, quote, Stop the Steal, to prevent the unlawful tampering of Treasury Department payment systems. In Washington, I'm Christopher Sellis.
Okay, so this little made up position that Trump gave him after accessing data and all of this, I mean, just doing the most. First of all, Elon Musk doesn't even have security clearance and can't even get it, supposedly. Judge temporarily blocks Trump's plan offering incentives for federal workers to resign. So a federal judge temporarily blocked President Trump's plan to push out federal workers by offering them financial incentives, the latest tumult for government employees already wrestling with upheaval from the new administration. Thursday's ruling came hours before the midnight deadline to apply for the deferred resignation program, which was orchestrated by Trump advisor Elon Musk. Anyway, labor union said the plan was illegal, and U.S. District Judge George O'Toole Jr. in Boston paused its implementation until after he could hear arguments from both sides at a court hearing scheduled for Monday afternoon. Now, he directed the Republican administration to extend the deadline until then. And here's the thing. There's a bunch of things that Trump's doing that are allegedly illegal. And I believe that Trump's doing this because he feels like he can do whatever he wants to. He's deemed himself a dictator, in my opinion. And he feels like, you know, there's immunity for the presidents now. They can't charge us while we're in office. So I'm just going to do whatever. And what everyone else thinks be damned. Okay. This is what I'm going to do because I'm in charge. That's what Trump's thinking. I promise you. Now, labor union said the plan was illegal. Okay, and so he directed the Republican administration to extend the deadline until then. Now, a White House official said 65,000 workers have signed up to leave their jobs while being paid until September 30th. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt described federal employees who have been working remotely as lazy, saying they don't want to come into the office, and if they want to rip the American people off, then they're welcome to take this buyout. Now, a federal worker in Colorado who, like others, spoke on conditions of being anonymous out of fear of retribution, said the insults directed at the government workforce by members of the Trump administration have been demoralizing for those who provide public services. She said the judge's decision bolstered suspicions echoed by people who work across various departments and agencies that the deferred resignation program was legally questionable. Now, another worker in the Pacific Northwest decided to take the offer on Thursday, even after the judge's decision. She hopes to use the opportunity to move overseas, but even if the money never comes, she still wants out. She's unwilling to comply with administration policies such as eliminating diversity initiatives, and she worries that the situation will only get worse for people who stay. The worker said she opened her laptop, sent her a resignation email, and closed it again. Now, the administration has been ramping up its pressure on employees to leave, sending a reminder on Wednesday that layoffs or furloughs could come next, saying the majority of federal agencies are likely to be downsized through restructurings, realignments, and reductions in force. Okay, this is a message from the Office of Personnel Management, which has been a nexus of Musk's efforts to downsize the government. Now, the email said anyone who remains will be expected to be loyal and will be subject to enhanced standards of suitability and conduct as we move forward. Some employees should be reclassified to limit civil service protections as well. Employees who engage in unlawful behavior or other misconduct will be prioritized for appropriate investigation and discipline, including termination, according to the email. So Democrats and union leaders have said workers shouldn't accept the deferred resignation program because it wasn't authorized by Congress, raising the risk that they won't get paid. Okay, so that could all be a scam. saying that it's a scam and not a buyout. This is what Everett Kelly, president of the American Federation of Government Employees, said. And honey, I don't believe anything that Elon Musk or Trump says. Now, an employee at the Department of Education who also spoke on condition of anonymity out of fear of retaliation said the administration appeared desperate to get people to set the agreement or to sign the agreement. However, she said there were too many red flags, such as a clause waiving the right to sue if the government failed to honor its side of the deal. What? Now, I definitely wouldn't go for that. Okay, they could just not pay them, and then you sign a clause saying that you're not going to sue. Yeah, that's real crazy. Definitely wouldn't fall for that. Now, that sounds like a banana in the tailpipe. Okay, Trump put Musk, the world's richest man, in charge of the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, known as DOGE, which is a sweeping initiative to reduce the size and scope of the federal government. Now, the original email offering the deferred resignation program was titled Fork in the Road, echoing a similar message that Musk sent on Twitter, or sent Twitter employees 2 years ago after he bought the social media platform. Trump administration officials organized question and answer sessions with employees as the Thursday deadline approached, saying, I know there's been a lot of questions out there about whether it's real and whether it's a trick. This is what Rachel Oglesby, the chief of staff at the Department of Education, said. And it's exactly what it looks like. It's one of many tools that he's using to try to achieve the campaign promise to bring reform to the civil service and changes to DC. Now, the Associated Press obtained a recording of the meeting, as well as a separate one held for Department of Agriculture employees. Marlon Tabenheim, a human resource official with the Agriculture Department, acknowledged that these are very trying times and there's a lot of stress. Unfortunately, we don't have all the answers. Now, Jacqueline Ponte Lazaruk, another agency leader, said employees probably don't have the runway of time that you might have liked to make life-changing decisions. For those who remain, she says, we'll just keep plugging along. Now, assurances for administration officials have not alleviated concerns, and some federal workers said they did not trust the validity of the offers, doubting that Trump has the authority to disperse money. Okay, others point to his record of stiffing contractors as a New York real estate mogul. Like, Trump doesn't pay his employees. He just doesn't. Okay. And you all may not have known this, but during the election, there were different venues that would not even allow Trump to hold his rallies there because allegedly he didn't pay them the last time. Okay, so I definitely wouldn't be believing Trump talking about he's going to disperse money and payments and all this. That could all just be a whole con game, like they say. Okay, scattered protests have sprung up outside federal buildings, including on Tuesday at the Office of Personnel Management. Now, Dante O'Hara, who works for the government, said if more people don't speak up, we're all going to lose our jobs, and they're going to put all these loyalists or people that will be their stock or be their shock troops. Government jobs have often been considered secure positions, but O'Hara says there's fear in the workforce. The sense from his colleagues is, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow because, like, we don't know what's going to happen. Now, Dan Smith, a Maryland resident whose father was a research scientist at the Department of Agriculture, says federal workers are so underappreciated and taken so much so for granted. It's one thing to downsize the government. It's one thing to try to obliterate it. And that's what's going on. Okay, this is what Smith says. Now, Mary Jean Burke, a physical therapist for the Department of Veterans Affairs in Indianapolis, said she's worried that too many people will leave, jeopardizing healthcare services. Burke, who also serves as a union official, said doubts have also been growing over whether to take the offer, saying originally, I think people were like, I'm out of here. But then they saw a social media post from DOGE, which said employees can take the vacation you always wanted or just watch movies and chill while receiving your full government pay and benefits. Now, the message backfired because that kind of thing sounded a little bit too good to be true, and people were hesitant, according to Burke. Either way, she says, Trump has achieved his apparent goal of shaking up the federal workforce. Every day is something. If he signed up to be a disruptor, he's doing it. Well, you know, this is just exactly what I was telling somebody yesterday. I said, and I think I even told you all online, I said, Trump's shaking things up. Okay, he's shaking up the government. And this is all what he plans to do. Okay, this is all planned. I mean, he wants to get people, you know, confused, anxious, or whatever, you know, just wielding his power. That's basically what he's doing as far as I'm concerned. Now, speaking of DOGE, you know, they say that the representative resigned. Hold on. They say that Trump's second term live updates. DOGE rep resigns over alleged racist social media posts. Okay. Now, this came out this morning. As President Donald Trump's second administration continued its swift recasting of the federal government and American foreign policy, the president issued a stunning proposal saying the U.S. would take over the Gaza Strip, level the site, and rebuild it. Now, Trump on Thursday gave remarks at the annual National Prayer Breakfast, after which he was meeting with House Republicans about his budget and tax cuts agenda, and later was scheduled to sign executive orders. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, funding Trump's agenda is a key mission for congressional Republicans, but House and Senate GOP lawmakers are at odds on how to proceed. House Speaker Mike Johnson said that he planned to unveil a budget blueprint by Friday, but he told ABC News no details will be announced at least until the end of the weekend, probably closer to Monday. Saying we just have a few final details to iron out, and it's going well, and I'm very excited about where we are and the fact that we're going to be moving forward with this. Now, Johnson said raising the debt ceiling will probably be the reconciliation package, or will be in the reconciliation package. Asked about the range of spending cuts that will be included in the package, Johnson declined to provide any specifics. Okay, so anyway, it looks like it's going to get bad, going to get worse before it gets better, people. Okay, that's what it looks like. But let's go to this. President Trump enlists former ICE official Tom Homan to serve. Okay, yeah, we already know about that. Hold on. So anyway, they don't say anything about these racist posts. Now that's what I'm curious about. Hold on. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Okay, here it is. So a staffer connected to Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency resigned on Thursday after now deleted racist social media posts were resurfaced. The resignation was confirmed by a White House official who was not authorized to speak publicly. Now, Marco Elise, a 25-year-old software engineer, was working inside the Treasury Department to cut costs and to root out fraud as part of Elon's DOGE effort. Elise, who formerly worked at Musk Company X and SpaceX, was one of two temporary appointees at Treasury connected to DOGE, who have been granted access to a highly sensitive Treasury system that processes trillions of dollars in payments every year. Now, the Wall Street Journal reported on a number of 2024 posts from an account connected to Elise on Musk's Twitter or X platform, and noted that White House officials confirmed his resignation after the paper pointed out Elise's activity on the social media site. You could not pay me to marry, and here's what he said. You cannot pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity. Normalize Indian hate. These are two separate posts. On one, he said, you cannot pay me to marry outside of my ethnicity. That was in September. And then one from a month after, he said, normalize Indian hate. Then in July of last year, he posted, just for the record, I was racist before it was cool. In other posts from December, the account pushed for repealing the Civil Rights Act and shared, saying, I just want a eugenic immigration policy. Is that too much to ask? All of the posts have now been deleted, but NPR has independently confirmed them using the internet's archives Wayback Machine, which scraps and archives vast parts of the open web. Now, Elise did not return a request for comment. I know he didn't. And the resignation of Elise comes amid growing questions from lawmakers and former federal government employees about the dozens of staffers that Musk has tapped to help him pursue aggressive cost trimming, and in some cases attempt to dismantle entire agencies. As critics highlight legal and ethical issues surrounding DOGE's seemingly unchecked pursuit of government austerity, Democrats in Congress are running into obstacles. A Democratic-led attempt to subpoena Musk about possible conflicts of interest over juggling his DOGE role with the 6 companies he operates was blocked by Republicans on Wednesday. Democratic senators are issuing blistering statements and writing letters to Musk companies demanding answers. But such moves are unlikely to result in testimony in Washington as long as the Republicans hold a majority in both chambers. This is all a disaster. I just hope y'all realize that this is all an absolute disaster. Okay, this is all crazy. Bottle said the internet is undefeated. Absolutely, okay? Absolutely. I mean, once you put it out there, it's there forever. Now, let's talk about this. Iran Supreme Leader rejects negotiations with Trump as not rational, intelligent, or honorable. Okay, Trump has indicated a willingness to negotiate a nuclear deal while also renewing his maximum pressure campaign on Tehran with an executive order. Well, Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Friday rejected the idea of holding talks with the Trump administration, saying that experience has shown it was not rational, intelligent, or honorable to do so. In other words, calling Trump a fool. That's what it is. Please pay attention. Now, it goes on to say negotiations, this is what he says, negotiations with America do not solve any of our problems. Okay, this is what he said in a speech on Friday. Now, his comments came after Trump on Wednesday indicated a willingness to negotiate a nuclear deal with Iran. Days earlier, the president renewed his maximum pressure campaign on Tehran, signing an executive order aiming to prevent it from obtaining nuclear weapons and eliminating its oil exports. So anyway, hold on. I'm going to share my so y'all can see this report. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance.
Aquaphor, so many things. From the #1 dermatologist recommended brand for dry, cracked skin, there's Before, and then there's Aquaphor.
We are learning more about the potential ceasefire deal between Israel and Iran-backed Hamas. A senior Israeli official saying Hamas would release 33 hostages out of the first phase, lasting 42 days. The potential deal, an important topic of our exclusive interview inside Iran with that country's president yesterday. We also talked about tensions with the U.S. just days before President-elect Trump takes office. And a note, we spoke via government interpreter, and NBC News reviewed the translation independently. We traveled to Iran at a critical moment for its president, Masoud Pezeshkian. What made you decide to run for president?
Because of difficulty in the country and also in other countries around us, I decided to solve this problem.
But to the incoming American president, many problems in the Middle East center around Iran. In his first term, President-elect Trump imposed significant economic sanctions to stop Iran from acquiring a nuclear weapon and pulled out of the Iranian nuclear deal, while the new Iranian leader is presenting himself as a reformer. I want to first talk about Donald Trump. He has promised increased sanctions, maximum pressure on Iran. Do you have a message for him?
What is clear thus far, we are living in Iran. Ever since the very beginning, the United States has tried to topple Iran. I do hope that Trump will conduce to peace in the region and the world, not conversely contribute to bloodshed or war.
Are you willing now to have direct, open talks with Washington, with President Trump?
The problem we have is not in dialogue, it's in the commitments that arise from talk and dialogue that we'll have to commit to. We held talks with 5+1, lengthy talks, and we upheld all the commitments that we had to commit to. But unfortunately, it was the other party that did not live up to its promises and obligations.
Israel and the United States are beginning to talk about whether a strike, a military strike against Iran might be necessary to stop its nuclear program. If that were to happen, what would Iran's reaction be?
You see, naturally enough, we will react to any action. We do not fear war, but we do not seek it.
Do you think an attack against Iran is likely given the current circumstances?
I strongly hope that this will not transpire because it will be to the detriment of all the actors, not only and merely us.
President-elect Trump has said, when asked about the likelihood of war, he says anything can happen. It's a volatile situation. President Macron of France said, we're nearing a point of no return. When you hear those kind of characterizations, where do you think that leaves this tension right now?
There are tensions and they serve no party's interests. Whatever we have done thus far has been peaceful. We do not seek to create.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. First of all, Vince I Am from the UK said that he can sit down and talk to Lester, but not Trump. Okay? But here's the thing. I want you all to pay attention because Trump has turned the U.S. government into the Genovese family. Okay? Trump is running the United States like a mob boss. What in the hell's wrong with him? Is he serious right about now? Giggle says people believe Trump when he said he had nothing to do with Project 2025. He's following it to the T. Millions of federal employees are and have been forced to resign. My cousin and my friend have been forced to resign as well. I'm sorry to hear that, beloved. That's absolutely awful. That is awful. And yes, he absolutely is. Okay, Trump's nothing but a liar. We can't believe anything he says. How do you know when Trump's lying? Because his lips are moving. Because his lips are in fact moving, beloved. Thank you for your insight into the topic and your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings. I hope your cousin and your cousin's friend find work soon because this is just absolutely crazy. But I'm telling you all, Trump thinks he's John Gotti or somebody. He thinks he's a whole crime mob boss. Okay, that's the way he's handling things. Out here shaking people down, you know. Basically, that's what he's doing, raising these tariffs and all that stuff. Yeah, it's a shakedown by Trump. That's what it is. And at the end of the day, he's going to start a whole war, all right, with this crazy stuff he's out here doing, talking real crazy. And if you all remember, yesterday when I reported to you that Trump said that if he's assassinated by Iran to obliterate them, first of all, who gives those instructions? Who's even thinking like that? Well, Trump is, okay, because he knows the stuff that he's doing is ticking people off. And he knows that likely they have a bounty on his head. So, you know, this is all just very interesting. I mean, let's not forget also that Trump sent out the order for their general, Soleimani, to be killed the last time he was in office. Okay, so they still got it in for him for that, I'm sure. This is all crazy. Claudia said the beginning of the end, okay? Honey, this is all crazy. Juju said not obliterate. That's what he said. He gave the orders already, that if they do anything to him, make sure that they get them back, okay? Trump wants his get back from the grave even. I mean, he's serious about it, okay? I just want you all to pay attention. At the end of the day, you know, this is all crazy that this stuff is happening within less than a month of Trump being in office, okay? He wants to own the Gaza Strip. He wants to take back the Panama Canal, okay? He's not above engaging in ethnic cleansing, okay, wanting to take over the Gaza Strip and then telling Egypt they got to take the Palestinians, and they're saying no. I mean, pissing off China to now the China wants to sue, okay, via the World Trade Organization. They've been in touch with them. Now they're giving retaliatory tariffs, okay. Prices are going to be sky high. This is all the havoc that Trump has literally wreaked in just a few weeks. What do y'all think he's going to do in 4 whole years? This is all nefarious, okay? Y'all better stay prayed up, honey, is all I can tell you. Okay, buckle up, people. It's going to be a bumpy ride. All right, and don't forget what I told you all about the food shortage and all this stuff going on. Make sure you're stocking up on your non-perishable food items and getting your first aid kits, your flashlights, your batteries, honey, your generators, okay, everything. bottled waters, everything, honey. Finding people that you can barter with when the time comes. Because at the end of the day, this is about to get real ugly. I just want y'all to pay attention. And then don't forget that it was alleged that he and Elon Musk were talking. And Elon said something about, oh, they're going to have to suffer for a little while. Something along those lines. Okay? So anyway, I love you all to life. I hope you all enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
With that gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got